Reminder that it is honey-do list time, and there's a weekend event to help you get going with that. Today through Sunday, the Fox Cities Exhibition Center will be filled with the area's top remodeling and building experts for the House and Remodeling Show. There will be seminars, a floral design competition, and more. Entrance, Lisa, $3 for adults. Kids 18 and under get in free. The show kicks off at noon today, and we'll be back with more on Local 5 Live.
Welcome back to Local 5 Live. Don't just enjoy the taste of gingerbread during the holidays.
Yeah, today our Festival Mealtime mentors serve it up in a whole new way. Check it out.
Hey there and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Jenny, this is Lauren, and we're two of Festival's Mealtime mentors. Today we're baking up a delicious holiday twist on a classic Italian treat.
That's right, Jenny. Today we are making iced gingerbread biscotti. I love biscotti.
Me too.
I love them in coffee, and these are also great as a holiday gift. So, hint, hint, everybody likes biscottis as a gift.
Especially us.
Yes. All right, let's get started. We are going to whisk together all of our dry ingredients first. So we've got two types of flour. We're using a whole wheat flour as well as an all-purpose flour. So an easy way to sneak in some whole grains, but we do want that all-purpose flour just to help with the texture of it so it doesn't get too thick. Then we're adding in lots of great spices. So we've got ginger, of course, for our gingerbread, cloves, cinnamon.
Lots of cinnamon.
Yes. A little black pepper, which adds kind of a nice little kick, a little bite to this.
It's a fun twist.
Salt, and then baking powder. So I'm just going to whisk together all of our dry ingredients.
The spices smell so good.
They do.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to get started on our wet ingredients. So we just have some butter. Put that in here. And brown sugar. I'm just going to beat them together until they're well combined. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to get the rest of the wet ingredients in here. So we have some molasses.
All right, I love the addition of molasses in this recipe. It just adds to the ginger type flavor.
Yeah. Sticky.
It is sticky. It's never easy to work with, that's for sure.
Got a little bit of vanilla and then 2 eggs. And we're just going to beat this again until everything is combined.
Perfect.
Okay, that looks good. So let's get these together.
Excellent. So we're going to combine now our wet ingredients with our dry ingredients. Make sure we get all this goodness out of here. That's pretty good.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm just going to combine these two to really make our batter. All right, so this looks pretty good. All the dry ingredients are wet. So I'm going to give this to you, Jenny.
Thank you.
And I'm going to grab our pan. So this is our baking sheet. It's got just some parchment paper over the top. And Jenny is going to form our biscotti into 2 logs.
2 logs, yeah. And I just lightly floured my hand so that it doesn't stick so much to the dough.
But your dough should be fairly sticky.
And then we're just going to form it into like 11-ish inches by about 2.5 inches wide.
So after we bake our logs, that's when we'll cut it. So if you're thinking, well, biscottis, aren't they in little, bite-sized pieces? They are, but we bake it in the logs and then cut them up into those slices. Okay, so these look good. These are our logs. So our next step is to just brush them with egg white that we've just whisked up until it was frothy. We're just brushing the top here of each of our logs.
And that will give the biscotti like a nice little shine to it too.
Yes. So this is going to go in our oven.
And it's just going to bake at 350 for about 25 minutes until it's all golden brown.
And we do have one that is done. So out of the oven, this is what it looks like baked in the log. And from here, we've already sliced this one up.
Yes, so when we're cutting it, we want to use a serrated knife. And it is kind of crumbly and hard to work with when it comes out of the oven the first time. So when you're cutting, you want to make sure you are sawing back and forth and not pushing down so much, or else it will break all of the biscotti.
I'm going to move this one over here. And we're just taking our slices and we're turning them on their side. And then these are going to bake for 5 minutes on each side. Yes. All right, so I pulled these out of the oven. They have been twice baked, so about 5 minutes each side, which is actually the origin of the name biscotti,
Yes,
right?
it means twice baked in Italian. So, fun fact.
Yes. All right, so last step is icing.
Icing.
Of course, these are iced gingerbread biscottis.
Yep, can't forget that icing. So we've got a little bit of powdered sugar.
A very simple icing recipe.
Yeah, some milk, and a little bit of vanilla. I'm just going to whisk that all together until it's smooth.
And what you would want to do before icing your biscotti is to let it cool. We're not going to let it completely cool today, but you would want to let it cool before you go ahead and add the icing, just so it doesn't make a mess everywhere.
Yeah. All right.
That looks good.
Just going to go ahead and drizzle it on then. And if you are giving these biscottis as gifts, you'll want to make sure that the icing is completely dry before you package them up, or else it will smear everywhere and all your hard work is gone.
But it does dry really nicely. When we made these before, we did let them dry completely, and they're perfect to package up.
Yeah.
You could do mason jars or cellophane.
Little ribbon and
Yep, dress them up.
nice, easy gift.
And they're very festive with the gingerbread flavor.
Yeah, you could even add little sprinkles too.
Yes,
Some
yeah, that would be
color.
fun. All right, and today we're serving with, of course, a cup of coffee. All right, let's
Give
grab
these a
one,
try.
and I'm going to
Dunk?
dunk, yes. They're spicy, but not too spicy.
Yeah. Tastes like the holidays.
Yum!
Well, we hope you give these Italian cookies a try this season.
And for more holiday recipe ideas, visit fastfoods.com/season.
We're still in the 12 days of Christmas,
Yeah.
so why not?
Why not? Well, next on Local 5 Live from the minds of high schoolers.
They're doing amazing things with robotics these days. Oh, and look who's at the helm. Jordan joins in on the fun ahead of a big tournament live in the Valley. Bots, battle bots.
Nice.
All right, we are 2 minutes away, so I will cue you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Welcome back, everybody. High school teams battle it out this weekend, but not on any field or court. We are talking about the exciting world of robotics.
Yeah, I love how this is taking off across the country, and you can attend too. How about that? Jordan has our preview. He's live from St. Mary Catholic High School in Neenah. Jordan, how are the robots going out there?
It's awesome, Nate. I am giddy this morning, and we are in the STEM lab. It's something that I'm completely jealous about because I wished I had this in my high school. And joining me here is the principal and STEM coordinator, Jill. Jill, what does STEM mean, first of all? What does it stand for?
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Oh, very cool.
And we try to sneak that into all of our classrooms from kindergarten through 12th grade. We do it through curriculum and Project Lead the Way. And we also do it through our extra or co-curricular after school kinds of activities.
Yeah, awesome. And this is the STEM mentor, Phil, who is kind of overshadowing everything, correct?
Trying to oversee, but mostly trying to stay out of the way as the students build the robots and do all this great stuff in here. And just make sure we don't light anything on fire, or if we do, I get the extinguisher fast enough that nothing is seriously damaged.
Yeah, very cool. You guys have a cool competition coming up here on Saturday. What's the competition all about?
So this is the VEX Robotics competition this weekend. We'll have 32 teams here. They are going to be competing with robots that they built to try and win spots to both state and national tournaments.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you guys want to come watch this on Saturday, it's here at St. Mary's High School, and we have some students here. This is Max, and this is Rachel. I got all the names right today. I'm bad at that. All right, Max, you're here to tell us about the competition a little bit. If somebody comes here to watch, what do they get to expect? What do they see?
So they get to see this year's competition, which is called Turning Point. There's 3 main aspects to Turning Point. If you look at the field, there are flags, which are worth either 1 or 2 points depending upon where they're located, along with caps, which are either for the red or the blue alliance, and they're worth 1 point if they're on the ground or 2 points if they're on the post right here. And then there's the parking platform that's worth, at the end of the match, if you park on it, it's worth either 3 or 6 points. And there's a lot of back and forth scoring. Some things are going to be scored right away, and then they'll be descored right away afterwards. So it's going to be very back and forth.
And this is a tournament with 30 teams. So can you imagine all these robots here? I was talking a little bit earlier. Each one of these does separate, different things, right? But they look similar, but they're all unique in their own way.
Yeah, essentially all the robots are built from scratch with parts from the VEX Robotics people. And essentially everyone builds the robot their own unique way to do the tasks on the field and whatnot.
And Rachel, you said you are a programmer, right? What's it like to program these things and make them, you know, come alive?
Well, the program this year is a lot easier than it was last year. It kind of gives you a template to work with, whereas last year you had to write it all from scratch on your own. And so this program, I like it a lot more. It's not always easy, but it's a lot easier than it was, so it just makes my job a little bit easier.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Is it just using computers to do so?
Yes, I have a program installed on my laptop.
Oh, very cool. And are you guys are competing as a team this year, right?
Yes, we're actually on separate teams, but we work together kind of as a club.
All right, very cool. And they've had a lot of success here. Just with the last tournament they did, they qualified for state, taking home, one of the teams took home 2 awards. And yeah, for anyone who wants to get involved with this weekend, where do they go, or what do they?
So our doors will open around 7 a.m., but the matches will start around 9. We'll have preliminary matches from about 9 till 2:30, along with skills competitions. And then starting at about 3 o'clock, we'll have selections for the teams for the playoffs, and then the playoffs begin about 3:15. And it's a single elimination at that point till we're done.
All right, very cool. So you heard it here. We're talking about robots now, but for the next segment, I think I'm going to be flying a drone outside. You're not going to want to miss that.
Look out, Nina. Jordan is at the helm.
In the skies. Thanks, Jordan.
Let's take